Are you unstructured and find it hard to plan? Do you start projects and come unstuck easily? Do you want to achieve something but don't know where to start? Well, if the answer is yes, then keep watching and I'll share a mental model used by thousands across the world to get stuff done and achieve their goals. Hi, I'm Ricky, one of the co-founders of Thinking Focus, and we help people all over the world to be more effective and productive. We challenge their mindset and provide practical tools that they can apply simply and easily. Just before we start, stick around to the end and I'll let you know how you can download a free resource all about the model, and it's sure to help you become more productive. Look out for a bonus item that will help you to level up your planning. Just a heads up though, this video will be longer than our normal ones as we cover a lot of ground. It's been designed so you can either watch it all at once or you can easily dip in and out. To make it easy for you, I've divided the video into chapters. You'll see the timestamps for each section in the description below. Also, look out for videos that sit behind each of the steps. So let's not waste any more time, let's get stuck in. The actions model is our signature model, and it's used extensively by thousands of people just like you all across the world. Our clients have affectionately nicknamed the actions model FoooDo, and you'll see why as we work through it. FoooDo has been carefully engineered to simplify the thinking and planning process. It will help you to think through your projects and goals more robustly and in turn increase your chances of success. When we start new ideas, goals and projects, we often get so excited, so much so that we dive straight in, only to get stuck further down the line. It might be that we come unstuck quickly, or it could be further down the line. What FoooDo does is it provides a structured process to minimise the likelihood of getting stuck and wasting valuable time, money and resources. In our experience, this eagerness to get stuck in too early is why most goals fall by the wayside and why many projects fail to achieve their intended outcome. So, if you're up for achieving more and being more productive, let's take a deeper look into FoooDo. The first step is focus. In this step, you're looking to get clarity. This involves answering 3 important questions. In other words, what specifically do you want to achieve and by when? Because without a clear what, how will you know whether you have achieved what you wanted in the first place? What makes this so important to you in relation to everything else that you have on the go right now? In other words, why this and why now? Your why is your motivator. It's what keeps you going when the going gets tough. Are you confident that you can actually achieve this? Be aware though that your confidence level will fluctuate. This is about how you feel right now about your likely success. New information could make things easier, or it could even make things harder. But recognise you don't need all the answers now. The rest of FoooDo will help you to work out how you will achieve your goal. You can test yourself before moving on to step 2. Can you answer yes to the following statements? I know specifically what I want to achieve and by when, and I know how I will measure it. I know why it's important to me. I have more belief than doubt that I can achieve the goal at this moment in time. You can always work out how as you move through the process. If you know anything about goal defining, a SMART goal fits perfectly in focus. We have a whole host of tools that sit within FoooDo. Keep your eye out for links to the relevant videos, and I'll also include links in the description below. The second step is options, and this is the first of 2 sections in FoooDo that will unlock your inner creativity. Your aim in this step is to allow your creative mind to flow. Literally anything goes. Your creative thinking will identify tasks, activities and blockers. These are possible things that could help you to achieve your goal or things that could get in your way. When you explore options, consider these areas: tasks, i.e. things to do; resources, things you might need to use; ideas, other ways you could achieve your goal. But let's not forget the dark side, and please forgive the Star Wars reference. Here you're exploring possible things that could go wrong and get in your way. And also, how will you eliminate them or mitigate them? These involve things like risks, those things that could go wrong; blockers, things that could get in your way; assumptions, well, these are the things that we believe, but they may not actually be true. In other words, we think it's easy, we might even think it's hard, but that might not be the case. For example, we may feel it's easy to raise finance, but when we get into the detail, we find it's harder than expected. The secret in this step is to open your mind. One way to be more open is to set yourself a goal to think of as many possible options as you can in a set time. Try out 5 minutes and see how you get on. Quality is not important at this stage. You'll get to be more selective later. You can choose which you want to work on. And let's face it, what's the risk of having too many ideas? They're just possibilities at this stage. Others is the second creative section in FoooDo. In our experience, this is where most people struggle. We make assumptions and talk ourselves out of asking for help. We convince ourselves that people will be too busy or won't even be interested in our goal or project. Well, this step is all about who could be involved and how could they be involved. Think about who has the skills that you might need. What financial support might you want? Who has the expertise that might be useful? Who could act as your sounding board? Who could do tasks and actions? Who could provide resources or access to resources? Well, this list goes on and on. 4 questions to help you when thinking about this step. Why might you need help from other people? What could others do to help you? Who could help? And how could I get them involved? Once you've done your creative thinking and generated loads of ideas, you'll need to prioritise which ones you're going to do and when. But how do you decide? Well, we've got a couple of critical thinking tools perfect for doing just that. One is the ease versus impact matrix. This will help you to decide which ideas have merit and which ones don't. It's really asking what you think the return on effort is likely to be. Check out the link above for more on this tool. The second critical thinking tool is the urgent versus important matrix. This is especially good for deciding what to do and when. As the title suggests, it helps you prioritise urgency against importance, and you can work out what needs doing first. Check out the link above to see more on this tool. So, you've done all your thinking, but at this stage all you have now is a good plan. You've turned a host of ideas into a series of actions which now need to be completed. If you're to achieve your goal, that is. Well, delivery is all about working out what's the first step you actually need to take. How will you review your plan, and how often will you review your progress? But a word of caution, be sure to plan your reviews now, because if not, they just won't happen. Be prepared to adjust your plan. Don't expect to have everything covered. You'll need to adapt and change your plan as new information comes in and learning takes place. No plan ever runs smoothly, so regular reviews are essential. This will allow you to flex as you need to. You can always go back and do more creative thinking. You can revisit your previous thinking and review your ideas. There may be some possibilities that weren't relevant before, but they might now work, or you may even overlooked a viable option. Part of your review may mean that you decide to stop working on your goal. After all, priorities change, and you should be comfortable changing your mind. Better to stop than continue to waste time, effort and resource on something that you're no longer committed to. You will need, however, to consider the potential consequences if it affects others. Work goals are not always something that you can drop without good reason. Deliberately positioned at the heart of FoooDo is ownership. No plan has ever worked without somebody taking responsibility for making it happen. In taking ownership, you're accountable for the clarity and robustness of your goal, for your why, what will keep you motivated. But be mindful, it is okay for something to become more important and demote other goals as things change. Ownership means managing your confidence levels. It will go up and down, and you should develop strategies for managing when your confidence dips. Getting creative, do your thinking before you dive straight in, and ensure you explore possible obstacles as well as things to do. Developing ways to involve others and gain their buy-in. People will help if you give them a reason that aligns with their why. They might just be happy to help. Ownership is also about organising your ideas and planning in the time to do the actions. But finally, it's also about reviewing your plan and your progress to ensure that you maintain momentum and that you can adapt to the bumps in the road that you're likely to face. Above all, you're responsible for your goal and all that it takes to achieve it. Look out for a video which will show you how to use FoooDo as a diagnostic tool. It will help you to identify which area or areas cause you to struggle and what is holding you back from being as effective and productive as you want to be. Be clear on what you want and why you want it. Manage your confidence as it fluctuates. Be creative, explore possibilities and options before you go diving in. Get organised, plan in the time to do what you need to do, track it, make sure you build in regular reviews so you can adjust your plan and achieve your goal. Own it. It's your goal and you need to make it happen. If you check out the description below, I've popped a couple of links for you to download the free resources that accompany this video. First is FoooDo, the second is FoooDo, which is a series of questions that help you think through and plan any goal or project. And now, it's over to you. Remember to share how you get on. We'd love to hear your progress, so leave us a comment and share your success stories. Let us know how it's helped you to become more productive. Oh, and finally, if you find this valuable, smash like. It not only helps us, but it helps others, which means they can become more productive just like you. And why not share it with your colleagues? I'm sure they'll really appreciate it. Thanks for watching. See you next time.